How's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest gaming news. Today I have a small but important and interesting discovery related directly to The Elder Scrolls 6. And no, this isn't related to The Elder Scrolls 6 in a somewhat speculative way. This is actually directly related to The Elder Scrolls 6, and it does give us a little bit of indication into just how big the game world for The Elder Scrolls 6 might be. And maybe not in terms of scale here, because Todd Howard did recently say that making game worlds just to make them bigger isn't their target. I'm thinking the game is going to be larger in terms of just all the different dynamic game systems we will see in-game. But that statement of mine is a little bit speculative, but either way, we're going to break down this community discovery in today's video, and this actual discovery in question comes from LSR, or at iMontable, over at Twitter. They sent me a message with this discovery in the DM, and if you have any other discoveries you want to send my way that you think might be interesting in a future video, my DMs are open over on Twitter, so go ahead and send me something you see if you think it is interesting, and I might just give you a shout out in a future video like this. But LSR found a official LinkedIn profile. I don't know why I say official LinkedIn profile, like there is some kind of like hidden unofficial LinkedIn somewhere that only renegade professionals use, but either way, LSR found a LinkedIn profile for Tiffany Stevens right here, who is a game designer at Bethesda Game Studios, as you can see. Tiffany started working at Bethesda Softworks as a game developer in October of 2017, and as of March 2019, she became a game designer at Bethesda Game Studios. You can see her About section right here. It says, "Hey, my name's Tiffany. I currently work for Bethesda Game Studios as part of the game development team, currently working on the next Elder Scrolls game, Keep Calm and Fus Ro Dah." Now, there are two very important things to take away from this LinkedIn profile here, and the first and most obvious one is that she says she's working on the next Elder Scrolls game. So basically that means that the Elder Scrolls 6 seems to be the main game that Bethesda Game Studios is working on right now. However, we basically kind of knew that already, or at least we didn't know that, but we kind of assumed that was the case because it's almost accepted fact, even though it's still all speculation, that Starfield will release in November of 2021. And there are numerous job postings that seems to indicate that Bethesda Game Studios is in very deep game testing phases right now for Starfield, so everything just seems to align that the development process for Starfield is basically over with, and they're mostly just fixing bugs and game testing that game right now. And as Cyberpunk 2077 has shown us, huge massive open world RPGs need as much testing as they can get, because it seems like Bethesda Game Studios aren't the only kids on the block to release games that are buggy at launch. CD Projekt Red does the same thing, which just seems to indicate that maybe massive games like this just need a lot more testing. But either way, it seems like the Elder Scrolls 6 is in the full swing of development over in Bethesda Game Studios, but we knew that already, and that's not the main thing I want to talk about in today's video. Instead, the discovery that I think is important to take note of is right down here, because as you can see, Tiffany Stevens works for Bethesda Game Studios in Montreal. However, she is working on the Elder Scrolls 6, as she states right here in her About section. She's obviously not talking about the Elder Scrolls Blades, because I doubt that the Elder Scrolls Blades would be referred to as the next Elder Scrolls game. That's more of a spin-off thing. That's a mobile game, not the next Elder Scrolls game, because if someone says the next Elder Scrolls game, they're no doubt talking about the continuation of the single-player franchise, meaning the Elder Scrolls 6. However, the fact that she's working on the Elder Scrolls 6 in Bethesda Game Studios' Montreal development studio location is very interesting, because for the longest time, no one really knew what the heck was going down in Bethesda Game Studios' Montreal location. People assumed maybe it was mobile games or something like that. However, Bethesda Game Studios Montreal, I believe, wasn't opened until Fallout 4 was already announced and Fallout Shelter was released. But now we seem to know that Bethesda Game Studios Montreal is a support studio of sorts for the main single-player games that Bethesda Game Studios is working on over in Maryland. Everyone assumed that the Maryland location was the only studio that worked on Bethesda Game Studios single-player games, because we all knew that Bethesda Game Studios in Austin, Texas was the studio behind Fallout 76, its maintenance, and basically all of its future content, with some direct oversight from Bethesda in Maryland. BGS also has a location in Dallas, Texas as well, and I think that's a support studio, or maybe they do make mobile games there, but either way, we do know that Montreal is currently working on the Elder Scrolls 6 alongside Bethesda Game Studios in Maryland, which means that it seems Bethesda has two entire studio locations, two of their 4 studio locations working on the Elder Scrolls 6, and I think it's safe to say that that probably was the case with Starfield as well. Montreal, meaning half of Bethesda Game Studios' entire staff, or at least half of their known studio locations, worked on Starfield and are working on the Elder Scrolls 6. That means that both of these game projects are going to have the most developers working on those games in Bethesda Game Studios history, which should just speak on how huge these games might be. And I've long speculated that the Elder Scrolls 6 will feature 2 regions instead of just the normal 1 region for an Elder Scrolls game, and I believe it'll focus on High Rock, Hammerfell, and the Iliac Bay, the large body of water in between, meaning this would be the largest Elder Scrolls single-player game to date. And if Bethesda Game Studios wanted to keep their game quality kind of alongside what the community would expect, they would need a lot more people working on these games, because Bethesda Game Studios isn't known for having huge worlds that just feel empty. Their worlds are full of content, quests, NPCs that you can actually directly interact with and talk to, which is totally different than what we see in Cyberpunk 2077, even though a city would definitely have a lot more NPCs, so that kind of thing would almost be impossible. But either way, BGS are known for having these worlds full of all these amazing sights, all these amazing sounds, all these different things you can explore, and if BGS wanted to make their games larger but not have the content be more thin, more spread out, they would need more people to work on this game. And even though Bethesda Game Studios in Maryland are probably their largest development location in terms of just the staff they have located there, having an entire studio location in Montreal helping them work and possibly even test the Elder Scrolls 6 as it goes through the development phases has me super excited for this game. And again, I'm equally excited for Starfield in that way, because I believe this is the same exact situation that went down during Starfield's development process as well. I believe that Bethesda Game Studios in Maryland and Montreal were both working side by side to develop this game, and by having another studio location help BGS Maryland make Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6, they would be able to test this game as it goes down, as it's being developed, to hopefully quell and get rid of all these bugs that could be present at launch. This is something that large games like this no doubt need. They need a lot more game testing, because Cyberpunk 2077 was in development for like 7 or 8 years or something crazy, and it's still launched with a ton of bugs. So if Starfield and TES 6 are going to be amazing games with a ton of content and actually be large open worlds that just don't feel empty, they would need a lot of testing. And I'm not sure about the exact sizes of Bethesda Game Studio staff versus CD Projekt Red staff. I don't know if CD Projekt Red staff would be smaller than, say, both Bethesda Game Studios in Maryland and Montreal combined, but either way, this is just a good sign that Bethesda knows their games need as many people on deck as possible, and hopefully these people are going to be testing the game as well, so Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6 can both launch with the least amount of bugs and little visual issues as possible. Even though Cyberpunk 2077 is an amazing game, the bugs do take away from the experience, and I would kind of like to see large games like this launch without those kind of problems, so that for once, the gaming community can have something to not complain about. It's totally justified to complain about bugs though, I'm just saying. I like to see a positive situation in the gaming community at a massive game launch like Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6, and this discovery gets me pretty excited, or at least hopeful, that this will be the case. But either way, we finally know what Bethesda Game Studios Montreal is working on, and it's the Elder Scrolls 6, and it probably was Starfield before that, so that gets me super hyped. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below, and if you enjoy the content, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn notifications on. If you want to help grow the channel and the community, be sure to share this video and all the other videos on the channel, as sharing content is the best way to help grow a community and a channel. And as always, this video is brought to you by the following amazing people. If you want to get a video shout out like this, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member for as low as like only $3. Links for all this and more are down in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time, when I can't wait for Bethesda Game Studios to open a studio location in Night City.
It just works.